I was so preoccupied with the camera, the locations, trying to make sure everything's going to get done, that I was like, I will take the first person who shows any kind of interest in my film.
Honestly, if you cast the right person, your films, you don't need to do anything. I'm being for real.
You just watching and being like, oh, they're amazing.
It can be super fun, and if you do it right, the film will fly. If you have a good actor, everything's going to be okay.
You set up an ad that looks like that is sort of describing your film, and what will happen is actors will come and submit, please let me on your film, I want to be this actor, here's why, blah, 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 blah.
Like, a picture only tells you so much. How a person actually acts can often be quite different.
Then you'll be on set and they'll have learned the lines, everybody will have invested all this time, but if they're not right in that moment when they're there saying those lines, there's nothing you can really do about it. So you need to make sure that the people that you're trusting with your script and with your idea are people that you trust as co-artists.
It's important when you actually are casting, bring along a helper with you. I didn't do that my first time, and I tried to be the camera person, the script reader, the director, the organizer all at once, and it's really tough to sort of juggle all those things at the same time, especially script reading. If you're going to be casting and doing this, and you need to have someone read off a script, try to get someone to come along with you, because it's really important for you to be watching the actor at that point, not looking down at the script thinking about what you need to say next.
These are the people that are going to tell your story.
They're not your props. They're not people that you're just going to stick there, to look pretty. You shouldn't get them just because of the way they look or because of these little superficial details.
And if, they can't react to your directions, actually you can't really work together, I think.
I'm going to speak about this honestly. I think Australian screen culture currently does not represent Australian street culture enough. What do I mean? I think that our casting decisions currently are boring. Why? Because they're vanilla. What do we need to see? We need to see more people like we see on every street around this country. Casting is everything, because it's kind of like the frame for the frame. Who's telling the story? What is their authentic voice? We need to represent that voice better.
When it comes to the audition, it's about setting up the space in a way that makes everyone comfortable.
Just trying to find a process that works for me, and I think I'm still kind of figuring that out, and that will just kind of come with time. But I wanted to look into non-actors. That was kind of fun because we got to just kind of explore all these different kind of improv exercises and things like that. And yeah, I just really wanted to experiment.
And I think it just depends. It just depends on the character themselves. I think if you're casting non-actors, you want to be casting someone who essentially is the character.
I would do more tests on them, see what their strengths are and what's the part they need me to work together a bit more with them.
When I cast Leo, I had to cast children, and casting children is tricky because kids are pretty wild. They do whatever they want to do. It's hard to keep them focused. Lorcan, who is the main child in Leo, we did a full day of auditions. I auditioned maybe 30 kids, and afterwards I looked at the footage and I saw that when I asked Lorcan to look in the other actor's eyes, he didn't break focus once. He was locked in. He was attentive. He was there. He wasn't like these other kids where their eyes are going everywhere. They say the line and then they look off and they get giggly or whatever. He was serious.
I've been really pretty fortunate in that I've had the opportunity to work with extremely experienced and well-trained people, as well as people that was literally off of the street. I think it's a number of different things. I like to look for interesting, looks. I like to look for that just as a starting point. And then I love to look for something in the eyes.
So in the fall, Aiden is played by 3 different characters, an older version, a teenage version, and a child version. And that was harder to do than I expected. It was quite difficult to cast the older Aiden. And we ended up going through an agent and getting John Brumpton, who was excellent. And actually he, you know, I don't know how many people know this, but he used to be a boxer. And so it was great because he loved the script, and he loved the idea of talking about boxing in this delicate way. And so he ended up being the right person for the film. I think that there's benefits to having both trained actors and non-actors. It really depends on story, and it depends on the characters you're asking them to play.
I will say it's difficult for those who are POC to find actors, like to audition as many actors, in my opinion. From my experience, it's really hard, especially with Filler Boy. Damn, I wanted to cast a lot of people, but to get the right people was difficult to find. So I'm a big believer in casting people who are non-actors and practitioners of other mediums as well, because they can give incredible perspectives to your story.
Well, you just know it.
A lot of the time you'll get really fantastic actors and amazing actors, but they'll play the character in a way that makes you realise they don't understand what the character is, if that makes sense. And then one actor will walk in, and it always seems to happen. It often happens in the last one too. A actor will walk in, and it will just feel like you're meeting your character, and it's just like, oh my gosh, it's like you get starstruck almost, because I'm like, I've been writing about you for like 2 months.
Last year, all my 3 leads were just dancers, hence the fucking incredible dance sequence. Just messing, it's mediocre.
Casting is a particular kind of alchemy in which you take what this person can say and what they've experienced, and you add a little bit of spice, which is your story. And somewhere with a bit of fire of production, you create a gold of the human condition.
You have to say no to a lot of people, but no matter how nervous you might feel to be running the audition, just know that the actor is probably 10 times more nervous than you are. So just keep relaxed, make the other actor feel relaxed when they're in there, and just try to make it fun for them.